Hi guys, I had to start this video over because I had so many problems trying to get things out, and so I just wanted to let you guys know I'm going to be posting this video for Monday and Tuesday's night homework. So let's get started. On this first one, it's asking you to order. You need to always look at the way they ask you to order. It's not always going to be least to greatest. It's not always going to be greatest to least. In this case, it is least to greatest. So if I'm looking at my first value, or the highest value, which you always should look at first, it's going to be the number on the farthest left. So I have a 1, which stands for 100. This 1's value is 100, and this 9 is 900. I can already tell 900 is way greater than any of the 100s, so I'm going to put 900 last because they want us to go least to greatest. Then I look at the tens place here. I have 9, which represents 90, and I have a 0, which doesn't represent anything. It just is a placeholder. So I know that 90 is greater than the 0. So 109 is greater than 199. You can do commas, or you can make the less than, or 109 is less than 199, and 199 is less than 900. Down here, it's a simple addition problem. It's saying that the kindergarten, first grade, and second all have 498 students, and the rest of the school has 589. Always look at your question. How many students are there altogether? So it's just a simple addition problem, and you should have gotten 1,087. Down here we have our find the product. A product means multiply. So when you're doing your fives, just remember you can just go like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. That was 7 fingers, and 5, and I skipped counted by 5, so it's 35 is 7 times 5. All right. I wanted to show this one on the back. Whenever you get these higher numbers, like when you're multiplying by 12, don't forget about your base 10 grouping rule. Base 10 grouping is when we make groups, but instead of just putting the number in them or a picture in each one, we use base 10 blocks. Base 10 blocks is something that they're used to using. This is what they look like. And so I'm showing 12 right here because this rod represents 10 and these units represent 1. So the problem was 12 times 8. So I drew this rod and 2 units in each group, and then I skip counted by tens first. So I said 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. And so I made 8 groups, and then I put 12 in each group, and I found out that there are 8 rods, which equals 80. And then now I'm going to skip count my units. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. And I figured out I have 96 is my answer. So that's base 10 grouping. Let me know if you need any extra help with that. I've answered the other ones. I was kind of looking at the iPad when I was answering, so they're a little sloppy. This says 27. 4 times 4 is 16. 8 times 5 is 40. Then down here, how are the two shapes similar? I said they both have a right angle, which means it comes to a 90-degree angle right here. And then these two sides are the same, and these two sides are the same. So you could say both have right angles, or you could say both of them have two sides that are the same. Alright, so down here on our next problem, it's asking you to compare the fractions. So I drew a picture of 5 out of 6, and I really want you to think about that. If you have a slice of pizza and you ate 5 out of the 6 slices of pizza, you ate almost the entire pizza. And the other one says 5 out of 8. So if this one is saying 5 out of 8, again, I want you to think about that. Okay, this is my 5 out of 6. I ate 5 out of the 6 slices, but I can also make this into its same size, make same size pizza, but now I'm going to slice it into 8 slices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. and I still only ate 5 slices, but those slices are going to be much smaller now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I have a lot more left. So you should be able to tell by looking at these two pictures that 5, 6, if I ate 5 out of the 6 slices, that's greater than if I ate 5 out of 8. Also, don't forget your trick, which the butterfly or the cross multiplication trick. So 5 times 8 is 40, and 6 times 5 is 35. So 40 is greater than 35. All right, let's look at this last problem on here. Jonathan has 16 toy cars, and he got 12 more for his birthday. He then gave 8 cars to his best friend, George. How many cars does he have now? So remember to always highlight those numbers, figure out, it's giving you 3 numbers, which means you might be using all 3 of them. Look back to the question. How many cars does Jonathan now have? So he started with 16, so I wrote 16. And then it says he got 12 more. So more means we're adding. In this case, it means we're adding. Just really got to read it and think about it. If you got more, did you get taken 16 away, or did you get more added to the 16? You have more added. So 16 plus 12 is 28. But then it says he gave 8 to his friend. If you're giving away, that means you're subtracting. So 28 minus 8, your answer would be 20. All right, that's it for Monday. Now I'm going to go through, and you can pause this video and wait to look at Tuesday for tomorrow, or I definitely don't want you just looking over the answers and getting them. Make sure that you pause and try and answer them. All right, moving on to Tuesday. Watch this video tomorrow. We're rounding each number to the nearest 10 and hundreds. So again, let's do all of our tens place first, which means I'm going to look at my tens place for each one. And remember, the 10 is going to ask the 1 if he's staying or going. So 9 is going, the tens place is there's a 9. 6, do I stay a 9 or do I become a 10? Well, the 6 is going to say you become a 10 because 6 rounds up. So if that becomes a 10, then that means that's really going to be a 0 plus a 1 over here. So that's going to be 800. Okay? The other way that you can look at that is if you look at the whole number, it's going to be the same thing for the hundreds place, because if we look at the hundreds place and we ask the 9, are we staying at 8 or a 7, or do we become an 8? We become an 8. And remember, everything else turns to a 0. 302, we have a 0. Hey, 2, do I stay a 2 or do I become a 1? Well, the 2 rounds down, so or do I stay a 0 or do I become a 1? I stay a 0. And then the next one, the 5 is going to say, hey, 1, do I stay a 5 or do I become a 6? And the 1 rounds down, so he says, you stay a 5. Okay? So then we're going to look at the hundreds place. The 3 is going to ask the 0, hey, 0, do I stay a 3 or do I become a 4? Well, we know 0 stays down because it's less than 5. So it's going to just stay a 3. And the 4 is going to ask the 5. Hey, 5. Do I stay a 5 or do I stay a 4 or do I become a 5? And 5 always rounds up, 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 so it becomes a 5. So it would be 500. Okay. Walton has $120. He wants to buy video games that are $10 each. How many video games can he buy? So it doesn't tell us how many he bought. It's saying if you have $120, how many can you buy? And find that key word. It says each in here. So you need to be remembering 10 each. That means we're multiplying until we get to 120. So we're going to multiply until we get there. So 10, and I'm just going to draw rods to bring you guys back to how you can draw these to show your work. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. If I wanted to, I could draw myself a flat, and that's going to be the big square. But I'm at 100. Am I at 120 yet? Nope. So 110, 120. Okay, so if each video game is $10. How many video games can he buy? Now we just need to count. Pretend each one of these is a video game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So he can buy 12. So your multiplication problem would be 10 times 12 equals 120. Or 120 divided by 10 equals 12. Remember, it's a fact family. Alright, now let's look down here. You're doing some division. Again, don't forget, there's a lot of different ways to solve these. Let's look at our, let's look at 49 divided by 7, okay? So if you have 49 and you're trying to divide it by 7, think about all the different strategies we've learned. We could do a number line, and I know that I need to get to 49, and I know that I have to skip count by 7s to get there. So 7, so what? That's 7. What's the next one? 14. 14 plus 7 more. 21. If you know 7 times 3, or 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 6 is 42. And then 7 more would be 49. So how many hops did it take to get to 49? Starting at 0 and skip counting by 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it took 7 hops times skip counting by 7s to get to 49. So that means 49 divided by 7 equals 7. Okay. So that's 7 right here. You could do the same thing. You can also do the base 10 blocks but go backwards. So we could I'm going to show you that one with 121 divided by 11. Okay, so if you have 121 and you're dividing it by 11, let's say that you're going to make 11 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And you know you have to get to 121. So you're going to put base 10 blocks in each one until you get to 121. And you might have to put some units in there. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. Are you there yet? Nope, we have to get to 121. Well, I definitely can't put another one here because that would be 120, 130, and that's past 121. So, now that I'm at 110, I'm going to have to use some units. So let's put 1 unit in each one. And count along. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121. We got to our number and we made 11 groups. So 121 divided into 11 groups equals how many in each group? 10 plus 1 and 11. So 121 divided by 11 equals 11. Again, if you need any help with these, just let me know and I'll help you. Alright, those are the rest of the problems. Circle all the fractions that are equivalent to 6/12. So this is 6/12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh no, it cut it off. It was 12. Which one is equivalent to that? So 6/12 is it 1, 2, 3, 4? 4 out of how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 4/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 6 plus 2 more is 8. 1 out of 3, or 3 out of 6. Circle all the fractions that are equivalent to 6 out of 12. Now I want you to look at that direction again. Circle all the fractions. All. That means there might be more than one. So 6 out of 12, let's try the first one. 6 out of 12 and 4/8. You can try this on the back. 6 out of 12 and 4/8. Let's see if they're the same. Well, 6 times 8 is 48, and 12 times 4 is 48. So yes, 6 over 12 and 4/8. So I'm going to circle this one because this one is equivalent. Let's try the next one. 6/8 and 6/12. Again, I'm writing 6 out of 12, but now I'm comparing it to 6 out of 8. Well, I know 6 times 8 equals 48, and 12 times 6 equals 50. Wait a minute. It equals 52. I'm having a moment. 12, see, even I have to do this sometimes. 12 times 6. We said that that's 12. Plus one more, it's 72. Goodness, I was having an issue. But 72 is greater than 48. Okay? So, if one of them's greater, then this one is not one of them. 1 out of 3. Let's see. 1 out of 3, and we're comparing it again with the same one we compared each of them with, 6/12. 12, 18. So they're not the same number, which means they don't equal each other. So you can mark that one out too. Let's try our last one, 3/6. 3/6 and 6/12. See how much I'm using the back of my piece of paper? You guys need to be showing your work somewhere too. So again, 6/12, it's the same thing we've done before, 6/12, and we're going to compare it to 3/6. Okay, so again, 12 times 3 is 36. 6 times 6 is also 36, so they're equal. So this one is also equal. Okay, so this one is equal and this one's equal. Alright, we're almost done with this video. Our next problem says Gracie, let's make sure that's, there we go. Gracie ate 3/8 of the cookies and Emma ate 3/6. Who ate more cookies? So if I were you, I would show me a picture. This is Gracie's, this is Emma's. So 3/8, that means she ate 3/8 of the cookies. That means, let's say there were 8 cookies. And she ate 3 of them. And then Emma ate 3/6 of the cookies. Okay, well, who ate more cookies? They both ate 3, but which one has less? Which one still has more? Gracie still has more to eat, so she ate less cookies because she didn't eat as much. The way you can check that is doing 3/8 times, or 3/8 cross multiplied by 3/6. So 3/8 and 3/6. 3 times 6 is 18. 8 times 3 is 24. 3/6 is greater than 3/8. So this one, so Emma ate more. Emma ate more. Last problem. Dan and his 4 friends each have 6 cookies. If they each eat 2 of their cookies, how many cookies do they have now? Well, do they now have altogether? Okay. So Dan and his 4 friends eat. Remember what you're supposed to do. Read the question again. Or read the whole problem again. Dan and his 4 friends each have 6 cookies. Okay. Dan and his 4 friends each have 6 cookies. So how many cookies are there without even reading the rest of the problem? If you're not even looking at this part yet, you should be able to tell me Dan and his 4 friends each have 6 cookies. So if I'm saying this friend, this friend, this friend, this friend, it says Dan and his 4 friends. That's 4 friends, but where's Dan? There's Dan. Now also there's 5 of them. There's 5 people, which is what you might have missed if you only were looking at the words and the numbers. It doesn't say 5 anywhere. You have to know that Dan has to be added in. So Dan and his 4 friends each have 6 cookies. So I'm going to put in a 6 on each of them. So how many cookies do they have before we go on to the rest of the problem? 6 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 times 5 is 35. If they each eat 2 of their cookies, how many cookies do they now have? All right, so this kid ate 2, so he has how many now? 4. This kid ate 2, so he has 4. This kid ate 2, he has 4. Everyone ate 2 cookies, which means 6 minus 2 cookies is 4. So now, instead of it being 6 times 5, it's going to be 4 times 5. 4 times 5 equals 20. Alright, so now they have 20 cookies altogether. Alright, that's your problem. That's your math for Monday and Tuesday. I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any sort of questions and I'll help you out. Alright, bye.